So this evening is an invitation for you to shift down from trying to fix, trying to improve, trying to have different feelings and different thoughts and a different haircut, different body, and to discover the transformative power, the healing power of noticing, of being aware, of meeting this moment with loving kindness, with openness, with a welcome, like a friend. And that can be somewhat challenging because we are so used to that paradigm of trying to get somewhere else. We are very used to a view of this is not good enough. It should be different. Who I am, it should be different. So this evening is an invitation for you to just try out what happens if you respond to whatever arises for you in this field of experience. What happens if you say yes to who you are in this moment? So very simple. And see if you can find that yes in your heart, maybe it's somewhere in your body, this capacity for you. We all have this capacity to be at ease, to be soft and warm, to our feelings, to the thoughts we have, to the sensations in your body. We all have that capacity. So what we, and this is kind of this is in the frame, or it's based on this very radical paradigm which you find in all spiritual traditions, that what we are actually looking for is here. It's not somewhere in the future. It's not in a holy book. It's not in a holy cave somewhere in Tibet. No, it's here. So the instruction for tonight is very simple. It's simple but not easy. So it sounds simple, but then we will discover it's not easy. So the instruction is whatever arises calls for your presence. Whatever arises calls for your presence. Whatever is closed in you now calls for a yes. And I think we all have a sense of that, what is really transformative in our life, what really matters in our life is to express our love as much as possible. At least that will be the question at the end of our life. Did I express what I have in my heart? And we're afraid of that. The way to make that possible, to lean into that, is to start here in this moment, to be who you are in this moment and to respond to that with a yes, with a welcome. So whatever arises in your experience calls for your presence. And as long as you will not find this deep yes in you, it will continue to arise in your life. Maybe you have, probably we all have noticed that it comes back. And then we say a little bit more yes. And then it comes back, and then we dig a little bit deeper, and then at one point we think, so now it's, but then we find, no, actually there's even a more deeper level to embrace, to say yes, a deeper level to love. So we all have right now in our life our challenges. And they are these gifts, in a way, of asking us to learn more deeply to respond with a yes, with presence. And more we can connect with that in a moment like this, more we can carry that into our relationships, into the places where we go. More we can share that. So again, the simple instruction is whatever arises for you. Restlessness, for example. If restlessness arises, and it will arise. Restlessness, discomfort will arise. It calls for your presence. So the same, and then the same, if we cultivate that with ourselves, then the pain in the crisis which your friend goes through right now calls for your presence. It doesn't call for fixing, controlling, trying to get rid of. It calls for presence. It calls for love. A different word. Non-judgmental presence is love, is radical love. So those of you who have explored the teachings on mindfulness or meditation before, they have heard the teachings on the 5 hindrances in meditation. I wrote them down here, but I will mention them. Now the good news for here, what we explore here, there are no hindrances. The hindrances themselves, they are the gates to openness, to peace. So no antidotes necessary. One hindrance, for example, so-called hindrance, what some of you will be experiencing when I soon will shut up, more or less, is sleepiness. That's a very common question. Like in retreat and in meditation, people ask, "Okay, I'm getting sleepy when I sit here. Drowsy. It's called sloth here, or sloth, drowsiness." So what I invite you here now for the next 20 minutes when we sit quietly, when drowsiness arises, not to make a problem out of it, but just notice it. When restlessness arises, not to make a problem out of it, but just notice it. Be kind with it. Be kind with yourself. Of course you are drowsy. After a day of trying to control and fix, you are drowsy. So then, restlessness, like, in your body, like, it's like, it just doesn't feel right. And so again, see what happens if you don't make a problem out of it, and you just notice it. It's like like taking care of it, like it is a baby. Oh, my little restlessness. I take care of it. Come here. I'm big enough to hold you, restlessness. I'm big enough to hold you, tiredness. So what happens if a mother has the capacity to hold the restless baby in openness and friendliness and kindness? It's like, not always, but sometimes you need quite a long open space for the baby to calm down. But in the end, as everything else, in our experience, it will change. So, when we sit here, inviting whatever arises, we're not sitting here to try to get somewhere. We are not sitting here to try to get better at meditation or mindfulness, because what we are looking for, the place of peace, the place of fulfillment, is here. Utterly open, utterly perfect.